on Funniest Pets and People. Some cats looking for a handout. A goofball takes a pratfall. A crash test turtle. A couple flips for each other. A woman who really dives into her work. And a little boy gives doggy back rides. It's the show that will have you sing, stay, laugh, and beg for more. Welcome to Funniest Pets and People. Now let's get serious, because it's time to play. Yeah, it's always fun roughhousing. Till someone loses an electrode. There's something kind of strange about these playmates, don't you think? Okay, everything's strange about these playmates. At the very least, it's safe to say Curiosity freaked out the cat.
Ready, Boop, go for a ride. Go on, go take a ride. Good girl, come on. Get in there and press the pedal for me. Good girl, that's a good girl. No, over on the pedal. Ready, Boop, pick it up.
Completely confused. Doesn't know what to do. Oh, no, not the dog.
Pedal.
The owner.
Good girl, good girl. Good girl. Good girl, stay. Hold it. Good girl, stay. Good girl. Stay, hold it. Good girl, stay. Okay, good girl, yay! All right.
To avoid accidents, make sure you buckle up when you get behind the wheel or in it.
Hello, Mama.
Poor bastard. Spends so much time alone, this is what he thinks it means to take a walk. And this is what he thinks it means to be housebroken.
Yeah, great.
The question isn't who will get this toy. The question is, after all the dog spit, who wants it? Put away those school books and turn on the TV, because it's snow days. The only thing dumber than climbing on this slippery roof in the winter is doing it twice. It's time for Pets and People Unleashed. Depending on how it turns out, this battle will henceforth be known as Victory of the Bold Bird. Or those feathers? No one could understand why the mice put up that mirror. Until today. Just when you thought we were at the end of the baby boom, baby boom. Why did the geese cross the road? To get away from the guy sneaking around in the bushes with a video camera. Fuzzball in the corner pocket. Score. After all these years, Polly finally got tired of saying, "I want a cracker." So now she just rings the bell. Polly's a diva. The lesson here, don't drive all the way home from college without ever stopping to use the bathroom. And yes, ladies, he's single. And now we resume with turtle skydiving. Now, what was I supposed to gather? Was it twigs? No. Leaves? No. Wait, it was nuts! Ugh, God, somebody get this junk out of my mouth. This is terrible. Ugh. Ugh. Coming up, the Bizarre Bucket Brigade. And a cat gets dizzy-witty. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. Hey, it's off to the races. The Sweeneys are coming up from behind. But no, it's Mrs. Gunderson by a broken nose. This wasn't exactly what Ruggles had in mind when his owner finally took him for that walk in the country. Now, what we see here is a dog who wants to take a kid for a ride, and a kid who cannot take a hint. In hindsight, everyone had to agree. Using a fire truck was the better way to put out fires. Here's a bird who's really got it made in the shade. Try as he might, nothing could match the rush of riding with his head out the car window. If at first you don't succeed, flop, flop again. Two hours later, we found out what happened to that missing bag of coffee beans.
It's spark of adrenaline. It's harder than his blood.
You've heard of a walk-in freezer, right? Well, here's a fall-in freezer. These next clips are pure enjoyment.
Ready?
All right, now see if you can spot the moment the cat goes from enjoying this to plotting revenge. Oliver knew that one day he would be able to fly free. As soon as he got over being dizzy, Grover's theory that beanbag chairs were filled with doggy treats would soon result in crushing disappointment. You've heard of a piggyback ride, right? Well, here's a poodle back ride. It's Hammy's special day. Why is it Hammy's special day? We have no idea.
Try it again. I can't quit. I can't quit.
A ball! A ball! A ball! A ball! Water! A ball! A ball! A ball! Water! A ball! Water! A ball! A ball! Water! A ball! A ball! A ball! A ball! A ball! A ball! Water! A ball! Water! A ball! A ball! Water! A ball! A ball! A ball! Water! A ball! A ball! Water! It's Cardboard Tube from Animal Delights, the makers of Piece of Rope and Magic Mirror. And Garden Hose. Order yours today. Coming up, a puppy who runs into trouble. And a ferret who gets a sock in the face. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. And now, the one thing everyone loves, puppies. We really can't remember how we decided to call him Flip. Oh, wait, it's starting to come back now. Sammy's got the snap. He's breaking down the line, heading toward the end zone, and oh! Down he goes. The sack is credited to the birdman. I don't know what's bigger. This puppy's ego or the distance he's gonna have to run to get away from the big dog. This puppy is pushing his luck. Oh, not because that's a black cat. But because he's about 2 seconds away from a rump full of cat claws. If he calls that folding, we don't even want to see what he means by ironing. Yeah, wait till he slows down and finds out it's only his tail. Here's something to see, unless it's in your attic. Ferrets and squirrels. Despite his great agility, the pole vaulting just wasn't working out. Just a few hours till everyone gathers under the tree and opens their presents. But someone couldn't wait for Christmas morning.
He had that thing in his mouth, the whole thing. It was huge. Look at this thing. Let's go with that.
The guy filming this thought it was funny when he found a squirrel that eats paper. Till he realized that his wallet was empty. This is the first and last time the ferret needed to learn the lesson. Don't go nose first into a sweaty gym sock. Cool.
Let's see him wipe the sock.
When you're away, you may think your home is safe from break-ins. That's why you need the tiny home alarm system. Why is this ferret getting money? Well, it's simple, really. Limos filled with ferret food don't pay for themselves, you know. Coming up, traffic turns into a real log jam. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. This guy has a lot to do this winter. Hauling the firewood into town. And getting a new job. See you next time.